Still remember her face and the sound she made, and I explained it to her. I was like, didn't want you to fucking have to deal with my fart. And she's like, you put it all over my face. I hadn't even thought about this since I was about fucking 18, but I had a very similar situation where I don't know whether it was just a booze-fueled stomach or just things just weren't operating well. And so I went and used a fucking ensuite at this chick's place I was staying at, having a meaningful relationship with her just one evening, and same thing. It was like, one of those sliding fucking paper doors. It's almost like a Japanese Tami fucking thing that comes across. It is paper thin. Like I could, like you can hear a tap dripping in it, like it's fucking in the room with you.
Let's pretend you're back there now. What's the approach? What are the options?
I'll tell you what the fucking options are not to do. So I went in there and I was like, fuck, if I sit down, it's going to go boom into the
trombone.
Yeah. So I need to, how can I take the heat out of this? So the only option I could think of was to get a towel off the towel rail and rolled the towel up like a pool noodle and pulled it between my legs and held it over my shoulder like I was doing an old man drawing of my fucking nuts and asshole. So at this stage, I couldn't even Fred Astaire and fucking taptoe my way out of it because I knew it was going to be hearty. So anyway, I get this towel, roll it up, it's like a noodle now, flick it under my legs, pull it up over my shoulder and pull it in tight, and I let like a little bit go. It goes, and I was like, I've fucking done it. I have fucking done it. Absolutely nailed it. So then I was like, and just fucking strangulated this fart out of my cheeks through the towel, which was like a silencer. Now I'm a fucking farting assassin. Like I farted into this thing for probably about 30, 40 seconds. Like it was ages. Anyway, extractor fans going, fucking thanks, mate. Come out. I'm lying in bed and we're like, okay, cool. Should we go out and get some brunch or whatever? She goes and she's like, sweetie, I just chuck on my makeup, goes, washes her face, grabs the towel off the towel rail and goes, oh, fucking Jesus Christ. And this fucking semi-damp towel that I've been farting into was just a fucking mask of death. Mustard gas would have been better. Oh, fuck, I literally hadn't thought about that since probably the week after that had happened.
That's so
that poor chick, I still remember her face and the sound she made, and I explained it to her. I was like, didn't want you to fucking have to deal with my fart. And she's like, you put it all over my face.
Why did you put it back on the towel? I'm in the Royal Navy as a marine engineer submariner, and one of the main jobs we had to do was unblock toilets like a glorified fucking plumber. One night while I'm watched, this fat fucker decides to come and tell me he's blocked the toilet. Thinking, yeah, probably too much paper was put down there. I decided it'd be an easy job and thought I'll sort it out. Holy fucking shit. I've never been so wrong in all of my miserable life. I walked into what I can only describe as a King Kong. It's King Kong's forearm. I now know what it's like to be a midwife. As I had to deliver a fucking baby that morning. When I got it dislodged, I tried to flush, and lo and behold, the water just built up. Just my fucking luck, eh? Time to have a feel around, so I finger blasted the U-bend as hard as and fast as I've ever finger bashed anything in my life. I felt the culprit, and it was a solid compacted lump of shit, which I couldn't budge with my digits. Wow. So I got a piece of hose pipe, decided to blow it down. Holy fucking shit. The smell from that bubbles I got smacked with were absolutely diabolical. I took the pipe out and did the precious steps and grabbed the hose again to give it one last hoorah. Well, I didn't take notice which side I grabbed, and yep, you guessed it, I stuck the clean end in the trap and wrapped my mouth around the wrong end with shit. I've never thrown up so much in all my life, and I'm still gagging at the thought of it.
Fuck, that is worst case scenario.
After a heavy night in the piss and a mixture of exotic substances, we all decided we needed somewhere to stay. Alice says that we can stay at her house as long as we don't wake up her parents. Classic. It's worth noting at this point that Alice and Nick have been dating for about 2 months, and Nick was yet to meet her parents. Fear not, though, as that all-important first meeting was about to happen. We eventually get to Alice's house after managing to obtain more alcohol from a 24-hour garage, and to say that we were drunk would be an understatement. All three of us were utterly cooked. We succeeded in making our way to Alice's room without waking her parents. More alcohol and substances were consumed, followed by the loss of all of our clothes. Eventually, we ended up cuddling in the bed watching Shrek and fell asleep. Morning came round and Alice had gone to inform her mum that she had some friends stay over, and like the angel she is, she returned with a big plate of bacon and eggs. She also had a jar of super hot organic chili sauce. In his excitement, Nick managed to spill it all over his hands. After eating it, I curled up in the duvet and started searching for something to watch on the laptop, while Nick and Alice decided to have a fuck in the ensuite. A minute after they went in, I thought to myself, I wonder if Nick washed all the chili sauce off his hands. I didn't have to wait long for the answer. And shortly after, Alice came running out the ensuite, naked as the day she was born, screaming like a banshee, clutching her baby cannon. She ran out of the bedroom and downstairs. Naturally, I followed. The sight that greeted me in the kitchen was her half squatting in front of the fridge, milk in one hand and pouring it onto her hand and cupping it in her lady garden. At this point, I found myself to be largely incapacitated due to laughter. Shortly after, Nick comes running down, also naked and also screaming. Turns out, instead of seeing if Alice was okay, he thought it'd be a good idea to have a quick meeting with Madam Palm and her 5 sisters. For reasons only known to him, he did not think to wash his hands first.
What a fuck up.
Upon seeing what Alice is doing, he immediately shouts, "Quick, give me the fucking milk." Alice responds with, "Fuck off." "You did this to me, you bastard." Nick then grabs the fresh plastic bottle of milk out of the fridge and insists, instead of taking Alice's oh so dignified approach, he simply sticks his dick straight into the bottle, and the sighs of relief come quick and fast. Remember how I mentioned earlier that his first meeting with Alice's mum was imminent? Well, it was at this point that she walks into the kitchen to see this absolute clusterfuck of a situation unfolding. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck is going on? She shouts. At this point, I lost motor function and ended up lying on the floor, barely being able to breathe, laughing so hard I was in physical pain, with tears pouring down my face. Alice froze mid-squat, milk cupped in her hand under a tunnel of love, while Nick, clearly in too much pain to care, continued to sexually assault the plastic milk bottle. "Mum, fuck, sorry, chili sauce, it really, hurts." Luckily, Alice's mum was an old school hippie, and upon realizing what was going on, she also started laughing and then proceeds to bring them both towels to cover up. The rest of the day was spent in relative silence and quiet reflection on the morning's events, which had me occasionally bursting out laughing. I hope you guys enjoyed this yarn. I have many, many more. Love from England, up the fucking wires.
Do we fucking what? Well done. That is absolutely brilliant.